On Friday nights in cities and towns across our great land, communities come together as the lights come on. There's a feeling in the fall air. Friday night high school football sets the stage that will bring together an audience for a lifetime. They are mothers and fathers who await the sound of the ball being kicked high into the air, each person building memories that will forever be ingrained in their hearts. As the sun sets, the lights get brighter, becoming a beacon that will lead a team into battle with only one ultimate winner. And the lessons learned in a victory or defeat will stay with these young men for a lifetime. Football is grueling. It takes dedication and sacrifice. It takes everything you have and then asks for more. It joins young men together and teaches them trust and perseverance. And it teaches them what it means to never give up. For many of us, Friday nights were dedicated to football. But in the state of Texas, Friday night football is not just an event, it is the event. ESPN radio personality John Ireland covered high school football in Texas.
There are 15,000 people at high school football games all over the region, not just in one place. The fields, the stadiums, are as nice as what we're used to seeing college stadiums here. Texas high school football is the most unexplainable thing until you're down there. And when you see it, you think, this is like the NFL. It's a mini NFL.
Oakland Raiders wide receiver Johnny Lee Higgins grew up in Texas, where he played high school football.
The whole town shut down, and that's the main event. It's just like, like tonight, just like playing in the pros. Everybody's there, and the crowd is real rowdy. That's the number one thing. So I went back a couple of weeks ago on our bye week, and my high school was in the playoffs, and so I went there and watched them play, and it was like, my town got 3,000 people in it.
Where did you come from?
Swinney, Texas.
Playing Friday night football, man, it's an experience that you'll never forget. Sometimes I can lay down at night, close my eyes, I can always see those lights. They shut down the city in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It was 65,000 people. They shut down the city, and at 7 o'clock, everybody's at the game. You can see the guy at the jewelry store there that owned the jewelry store, or a fruit stand, or anything like that. Everybody was there, and it was awesome, man. It's something that I'll never forget, and I hope these kids get a chance to play under the Friday night lights.
There wasn't too many experiences like that Friday night. Getting ready under the lights, stretching, getting ready to play a game that you prepared for, all week. So that was definitely a big experience for me.
Yeah. Do you remember your very first games being out there under the lights and what that felt like?
Yeah, everybody comes out. Everybody has a blast watching high school football. The band playing. There's so many memories that I have from it. Friday Night Lights. It was based on a city in West Texas, and it's actual. If the city shuts down, and everybody cares about high school football on Friday nights.
We have all taken inspiration from football in many different ways. For some, it was following a team that your family rooted for generations, or dreaming that one day you may become the next Joe Montana or Tom Brady. For others, it is just in their blood.
When did you first fall in love with football?
Oh boy, probably when I was 3 years old. I can't remember back in my history when football wasn't something that I was always doing, whether it was in the street with just a bunch of friends, at a park, or whatever.
First fell in love with football. You know what? Before I started playing, when I was too young to play and my brothers were playing, Pop Warner, that's when I first fell in love with the game. I remember watching them. I wanted to play so bad. When they would get ready for the games, I'd put their pads in their pants for them and put their jersey on and try out all these pictures of me and my brothers' older pads. So I think I was really in love with it before I even actually suited up to play the game.
I fell in love with football. I was about 8 years old. I have 3 older brothers, and I grew up practically in the backyard of Dallas Cowboy training camp, and that was it for me. I still bleed blue and silver.
Me and my dad would just be sitting in my room at night on YouTube watching old videos of Lawrence Taylor, just these amazing Giants players.
I follow UCLA football. because both of my parents went there.
I've always wanted to play football. I just loved it. I've been watching it since I was born. I love the Raiders. I love the Packers. I love the Steelers. I love the Chargers. Air Force, because all three of my brothers go to the Air Force Academy. I like Navy. I like the Army. I like all the military colleges. I like USC. I like UCLA.
Back east, you know, football is a phenomenon. If you're a real New Yorker, you're a Giant fan.
When I first played Pop Warner football in Detroit and put on the shoulder pads and had my first collision.
My parents were USC Trojans, and so I always watched the Trojans when I was growing up, and when I started playing and I started going to the games, and I just loved it.
We used to go to my dad's high school games.
Okay.
We used to watch, like, we'd go back to him, I'd go see his coach, we used to go on the field and watch Los Alamitos play.
I loved the game all the time growing up.
Okay.
It was a great thing. I went to a high school where football was just king.
Even before I was principal, I came to every football game that was here, home.
College is USC, and pro I have 3, Saints, Jets, and the Falcons.
Oh, I follow USC and San Diego Chargers. Pro teams, the Oakland Raiders. I just kind of like the whole spirit of it, the silver and black.
About 90% of all high schools play football under the lights. Peninsula High School, just outside of Los Angeles, remains in the 10% who can only experience what it means to play under the lights as a visitor. Without lights, all of their home games are played on Friday afternoons.
Like, when I came here and I realized there's no lights, I was just like, what? No schools didn't have lights.
My mom is able to come to all my games, but unfortunately my dad can't make the games because of his work.
Yes, as a working parent, it's really hard to come to the school during the day.
Well, there's so many fans from the other side, and it's cool to see friends, family, everybody there to see your game at night. And here, you don't get that.
There's nothing else like it. You go to you walk on the field, there's just thousands of people there on both sides.
My dad's a doctor, and so with these 2 o'clock games, you can't really go to.
Just a couple weeks ago, I was at Maricosta High School for their lights, or they have lights, and I'm walking around, and it's like a party, it's a community, and I'm seeing these little kids, and they got their Maricosta sweatshirts on and ribbons in their hair. You got, the elderly people that are there, and it's clear that they don't have, that they obviously don't go to the school. They're not a parent of a kid, but they're there.
I look at other schools and I see way more people in the crowd, and everyone's, it's more enjoyable to watch a football game at night. I mean, like your homecoming game, that should be at night, not during the day.
There's such a big crowd that just can't make it. And seeing that community come together, I don't see why anybody would want to prevent that.
What is the biggest difference from a coaching perspective being under lights?
Energy. And that energy is so prevalent at a night game rather than a day game. It's just it's a night and day.
It's a shame here that we can't do it at night, because I come to my freshman's game and you get the 20 parents that are lucky enough to get off. But I can tell you right now, there's only about 3 dads that ever make the game, and I'm one of those 3, and it's a shame.
First of all, it diminishes the crowd substantially, because there's a lot of people that have to work, 9 to 5 down in downtown LA that have a big commute. But a lot of the parents don't even get to see their kids playing.
When you get to play under lights, it's like your weekend's already started, you have no stress, and all your focus is on the game.
I think it's more exciting under the lights because you feel like the better atmosphere.
Like, school ends at 3, and then you have that for 4 hours or so, and then you have the 7 o'clock night game. And just in between that time, you go, you hang out with your friends, and then you just get pumped up. The energy just grows, and then just having the lights, and then there's just something about being at night. There's just a more of an electricity than just like a daytime game.
I have to admit, when I go places like Maricosta and Redondo, I get jealous.
Well, certainly it gives young people, students, a place to go and a safe place to be on a Friday night.
Everything built up to that game. You'd go home, get dinner, or go to dinner with friends, and then you come to the game, and it's just like an explosion of energy.
I came from a small town, 19,000 people. We had a stadium that seated 8,000 people. Never in the 3 years that I played high school football did we ever play to anything except a full stadium.
It hit home when I realized that last year's seniors, some parents weren't allowed to see the last game because they were working. And for the parents not to see the last football game of their son is just tragedy. It's tragic. So, that's really when it hit home.
Playing under the lights is not an impossible dream for future Peninsula Panther football teams. Coaches, players, families, and community members gather to raise funds so that they can one day be a part of what it means to be on the field and sit in the bleachers at Peninsula High, under the lights.
People have been trying for years to get lights put in, and it's going to finally be here.
You know, I get goosebumps just thinking about that and thinking what this place would be like with that. Just that little thing, just that little light, and a little time difference, you know, it just would create such an atmosphere. It'd be amazing.
To me, that's the other element that makes lights such a good, valuable asset, is that it brings the community out. It brings the community together. You know, it's very hard. We have our biggest game of the year, and it's at 2 o'clock on a Friday.
Football brings people together.
It's good for the school, it's good for the spirit of the school, and it's great for the players, and it's great for the parents.
The game of football touches all who embrace it in a way like no other.
I love playing this game.
I love playing this game.
I love playing this game. I love playing this game.
I love playing this game.
I love playing this game.
I love watching my kids play football. Love it.
I love football. I love Friday night football.
I love football. I love cheering at football.
I love cheering for football.
I love cheering for football.
I love football.
I love watching football at Peninsula.
I love watching football.
I love watching football.
I love coaching this game.
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 I love this game along with coaching this game.
Football is the greatest game in the world.
I love watching my son play football.
I love watching this game.
I love watching football.
I love watching football.
I love the game. That's all.
I love watching this game.
I love watching my son play football.
I love watching this game.
I love football, and this community will love football.
I love covering this game.
I love covering football.
I love football.